The orchestra currently has 4 education programs running. We have Keynote in the schools, we have the Mehta Academy, University of Tel Aviv. We have Scale Up, which is teaching kids to play instruments in schools, and we have a special outreach program in Nazareth and Shfaram. For the Arab community. I have 2 questions for you. First of all, young Israeli talent, how do you see it, and what is your interest in the Arab community?
Well, first of all, about Israeli talent, if any of you were here for the Jeans concert, you would have heard a young girl playing Haydn's piano concerto, 11 years old. Then we had our twins, the Gurfinkel twins, they are 16, I think, and young, what's his name?
Haran Meltzer.
Haran Meltzer, whose father is our solo trumpet. He played Saint-Saëns cello concerto. This is just 4 kids, 4 young people of Israel who I've hardly ever heard the audience applaud so vociferously when the little girl finished the Haydn concerto. Because usually, as I told you, half of you don't applaud, even if you like the concert. I don't know what this tradition in Israel is. But when Maya finished the Haydn concerto, 2,700 people just absolutely exploded. And this was, she was not like Tchaikovsky or Rachmaninoff, that usually brings the house down. Haydn concerto. So there's an enormous amount of talent. I heard more, you were the one who gave me the statistic. During my whole tenure here, we have introduced 80 young children played with the orchestra so far. 80. Many of them are in our orchestra, many of them become soloists, many of them have gone abroad to play in other orchestras. But I'm very proud of that. In all those years, every season we introduce 3 or 4 young children playing with the orchestra, performing for our young audiences. It's something very healthy. About the Arab program in Nazareth and Shfaram, with the help of Bank Leumi and one anonymous donor of Switzerland, we have started a program there educating young Arab children, Israeli Arab children, who also learn Arabic music, and then they play flute and oboe and cello, etc. And I go there once a year and they play for me, and you have to see the parents of these children. They are so proud, and these kids are not developed as yet, but they are learning and practicing. And I'm telling you, one day one of those kids is going to play in our orchestra, because there is talent there. And about 4 or 5 of them are already at the Buchman School at Tel Aviv University, from Nazareth and Shfaram, learning with our professors, and our teachers go to Nazareth and Shfaram occasionally to oversee the education program, etc. So it's something very healthy, and I'm very grateful to the bank and our anonymous donor that they see that this is necessary. And I'm also involved, just for your information, this has nothing to do with music. There are 4 schools in Israel called Hand in Hand, where Jewish children and Arabic children study together. I have been to these schools, and one school is in Wadi Ara, where Jewish parents from Afula and Hadera bring their children to this school. You have to witness the happiness of these children completely mingling and playing with each other. All the Jewish children speak Arabic and etc. The Arabic speak Hebrew. All the teachers mingle with each other. And we see that these are 6 and 7-year-old children hugging and kissing and playing the oud and playing different instruments. This should be the future of Israel, and the future of complete growing up in harmony. And the parents, I spoke to them, the ones from Afula, etc., they believe. And I spoke to Shimon Peres, and he wants to visit one of these schools also. It's a wonderful thing. One of them is in Jerusalem, one in Beersheba, Valiara, and the fourth one, I forget where it is. It's a wonderful thing. Hand in hand, it's called.
Maestro, one last question. I know that from the 4 years I was on the management, you have upstairs a little briefcase, and you have color-coded folders in that briefcase, where each folder is a year in the future. Just, I remember that once we talked about an opera, and we talked about 4 years in advance, and you opened up your phone and said, no, on that day I'm busy. How far...
This is a paranoia.
How far... First of all, you don't have an agent, is that correct?
No.
How far in advance are you booked?
Well, now we just signed a contract with the Valencia Opera, going to Osaka in 2014 to open a new opera house. So we are in the season 13-14. We have to do that because the singers are also booked in advance. So if we don't book them now, I'm talking about Wagner's Ring Cycle that we will take from Spain, it's a wonderful production, to Japan, and with the best Wagnerian singers. So we have to book them now also.
What season have you been planning with the management?
With the Israel Philharmonic, we are planning now 12-13, or the tours of 12-13. We have to also, because, halls have to be available. If you go to Carnegie Hall, you have to tell them 2 years in advance which Beethoven symphony you want to play, because maybe the Cleveland Orchestra or the London Philharmonic wants to play the same piece, and so they reserve these pieces. So we have to work in advance.
Okay, anything else you would like to say?
No, I was surprised so many people came.
Thank you very much.
Now, you are going to hear a great singer tonight. Sophie von Otter, a Swedish mezzo-soprano, will sing Schubert songs. Each Schubert song, as you will see in the program, is orchestrated by another composer, Benjamin Britten, because, as you know, Schubert wrote it for piano, and Max Reger, Anton Webern, and these are songs that we are, so happy to accompany her. She's a great artist. I hope you enjoy it.